asking Canadians in Mississauga, Ontario, who they're voting for in 2025.
The current state of the way things are going on in this country?
I definitely think it's hard for young people to afford buying a house. I know a lot of people in their late 20s.
Liberals have a chance because he's, back in the driver's seat instead of Trudeau.
So you feel like the Liberals are viewed differently with Mark Carney stepping in there?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
This is such a ridiculous opinion. Like, Mark Carney is still Liberal. He's still representing Liberal Party. How can you be so naive that you think that the Liberal Party, would elect a leader that's gonna completely do 180 and go against the Liberal agenda, against the Liberal values, all of it? It's not going to change. They literally just change the face of the leader, but the party and the goals are still the same. And if you listen to the Carney, how he talks, it's so obvious. Like, he's for the wokeism, he's against the pipelines, he did not cancel the carbon tax, he didn't delete it from the law, he just put it to be zero until the election, and then again from day to day he can literally restore it without it going to the parliament or anything like that, because the law is still there. All he did is just decrease the amount we're paying, decreased it all the way to zero, but he can increase it whenever he wants. So literally it's just the same Liberal Party with a different face. They literally just rebranded, but it's still the same party as these last 10 years. Like, this is such a naive opinion. And one more thing, someone said about that it's hard for young people to buy the house. It's not only about buying the house. Once you buy the house, you have so many expenses. Like, right now, it's hard for everyone to keep the house, to put the food on the table. Like, it's no longer only about being able to buy the house. Like, yeah, it's a good argument. Obviously, it's hard to buy the house, but that's not how it ends. It's not like you buy the house and once you have it, everything's great under the Liberals. No, that's not true.
Yeah, I think it's kind of changed people's perspective on, the Liberal Party.
The inflation rising right
Same
now, it's
party.
crazy. A lot of people going homeless, especially everything with,
Here we
with
go.
the taxes and everything. It's
Do you think that they can still win this election?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they have
Oh,
a chance.
God, no.
Plus, you don't get a job and 2 years of wasting time in a college. But if it was other people, my friends, they still don't have a job.
What do you think has caused for young Canadians nowadays? Because we see that they struggle on getting jobs. And just like you just said, a lot of your friends can get a job. Would you say that the average Canadian nowadays in Mississauga can end up being homeless? Which party do you truly believe that can step in there and resolve this conflict that we're facing in this country? Ladies and gentlemen, today we are in Mississauga, Ontario. Mississauga is a well-known city in Canada. I'm pretty sure it's one of the richest cities in Canada. If I'm
Monroe
correct. Hey, maybe I'm wrong.
Towers.
But from what I've been seeing so far, when we pulled up, it was looking nice, a lot of traffic. But the buildings here, the structures, holy. Mississauga, you guys have it. I'll give it to you guys. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can tell by
Mississauga
the
is pretty
title,
much Toronto.
this is going
Like,
to be
it's
another political
completely
video. We're going to be going around as usual,
connected.
talking to Canadians, hearing out their opinion with the way things have changed in this country. After all, just like I always say, we know cities and towns and provinces have been affected in different ways. So ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, we're going to be talking to the local people in Mississauga. I know they have a special name for them. There's like Hamiltonians, Burlingtonians. What is it? What are they called?
Mississaugians?
Maybe it's that. Who knows? But hey, enough of the yapping. Let's go talk to the locals in Mississauga, hear their opinion and their
Okay,
take on the way things have changed in this country. And ladies and gentlemen, just like I always say, this is one of many political videos I'll be dropping on my channel until 2025. So if you're new to my channel and you like my work and you want to support me, the best way for you to show it is by subscribing to my channel and liking this video. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel to grow a lot. What do you think about the current state of the way things are going on in this country?
I definitely think it's hard for young people to afford buying a house. I know a lot of people in their late 20s, even
Not
if
just
they
buying
have
the house,
a good
but
job,
even the rent.
doesn't really go a long way with how expensive houses or even condos have become. I think when I was in high school, condos in Mississauga were 300,000.
Yeah.
They go for 700,000 now. So it gets harder and harder for young people to afford
Townhouse
living
over
in the
$1 million.
GTA, which is why people are moving away from the GTA, which makes it hard to sustain a lifestyle,
Yeah.
I would say.
What's it like living in Mississauga?
To be honest, I was a teenager living in Mississauga. It's not that bad. Like, it's my first winter, to be honest, here.
Okay.
It's a bit cold for me, but overall, like, it's pretty not bad. But if we talk about like school-wise or like the things that goes on around in Mississauga, it's a bit like dangerous. Like here,
Would you say that
Yeah.
in this city, if you're going off a little late night walk or jog,
No,
have to
you
check
don't
your
want to go
shoulders
for
all
a
the
late
time
night
to make sure
walk.
you're safe?
yes, 100%. Like I don't, to be honest, feel safe as back where I was from. Just because like how it goes around in Canada, easily like you can get robbed if you, let's say, have an expensive watch on you or like some designing clothes. People will definitely like try to get that off you. And even if you, let's say, driving a car, people try to even like get something from your car, because it happened to my friend before.
How much money do you spend a week on
We have
groceries?
someone from Mississauga over
Yeah, a
here.
So I'd
It used
say,
to be
like,
one area, and now it's the entire
$150?
Mississauga.
$50?
Yeah, I can
a
vouch for
month,
that.
I'm thinking
I
like
used to go to the
500
gym in
bucks.
And if you don't
Mississauga,
ask,
and
what do you think about inflation?
so I used to go to the gym around at 4 a.m. Damn, like it didn't feel safe at all. Just the people you see on the corners, like people just full on shooting drugs, right? No, it did not feel safe. Couple of gyms in 2 different areas. Yeah. I think it was what was it? World Gym that got rebranded after that, and Olympia Gym. Yeah, two different areas, but the same feeling. Like you don't really feel safe, not even on the parking lot in front of the gym, which is kind of crazy, right? Like you would not expect that in Canada.
I mean, it's a part of life. It's like, your day-to-day thing. Yeah, I wish it didn't happen, like a lot of people, it stayed the same, but that's how our economy is, so just have to deal with it.
Would you say there's still hope in the Canadian economy? Because some Canadians say they struggle
What do
to
you
live in
mean
this
deal
economy,
with
especially
it?
people that have, kids. I don't know if you have kids,
No.
for an example. Oh, you don't have kids, huh?
I wish things were handled a little better, so it's easier for everyone. Yeah.
But you're still liberal.
Speaking of handling it better, I don't know if you're aware, but the federal election is coming up. Is there any party that you truly believe that can step in there and make a change?
See, so the thing is, I'm not that political, but I haven't done my research too much into this topic just yet. But you've seen how the Liberal Party has been in power for such a long time,
Okay.
and that's kind of led us to where we are right now. So,
Okay.
if I was to vote, I'm kind of leaning towards the Conservatives. Just
Here we
seeing
go.
how everything is
Smart
panning out
guy.
right now. So yeah, that's it. But I haven't dug
I
too
take
deep
it
in
back.
the policies
He's
of
not
it.
liberal.
So yeah.
I definitely think groceries are huge.
Yeah.
The same stuff I
groceries
used to
are-
buy, say,
In the last
3 years
3 years,
ago,
it went
costs almost double
so,
now.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
fresh produce is so much more expensive, especially organic and fresh produce. I find sometimes I
Organic is
choose
hoax.
the cheaper option instead of the healthier option, just because it's so expensive, especially big grocery stores.
Yeah.
So that's affected me in terms of healthy eating.
Yeah, like right now, I literally visit 3 different grocery stores when I'm doing my groceries, because something's cheaper in Walmart, something's cheaper in a Canadian superstore, something's cheaper in whatever Co-op, right? So let's say milk. I'm not gonna buy milk in superstore because it's much cheaper in Walmart or they have promotion. Like 3 years ago, I would buy everything in one store because the difference wasn't this high. But now, like literally, I remember I used to buy a milk for $3. Now it costs $5.50 when it's full price in Walmart. In Superstore, it's I believe $6. It's ridiculous. It literally doubled, like this lady said. It's nonsense, and it happened in 3 years. And again, under Liberals' leadership.
We get taxed at every level. Farmers get
That's
taxed,
another
the
thing.
grocery stores
Yeah.
get taxed, we get taxed. So obviously everything is becoming more and more expensive,
Yeah.
which I don't even think it's just for young people. I think it's people living on a minimum wage job. It just keeps getting more and more expensive to afford living in the GTA.
Yeah.
Well, it's getting expensive for everyone. It doesn't matter if you have minimum wage, right? Because let's say you were lucky, you bought a house, but now you have mortgage, now you have property taxes, possibly HOA, utility bills, everything, all of that stuff. So even if you have higher salary, the food cost will still affect you unless you're rich. If you're rich, you don't care, obviously, right? But again, lately there's almost no middle class, so it's just rich people and poor people. What used to be middle class back in the day, let's say we would say people who own the house and still have a salary that they're able to afford 1-2 vacations, right? But because of the grocery costs, because of the gas prices, because of the carbon tax on the natural gas, which right now is 0, but we'll see for how long because the law is still there. But because of that, somehow you just drop to, you have a house, but you're barely making it to your next salary, right? Like there's literally almost no middle class because no one's safe thanks to all of these taxes and the grocery prices. Just to summarize it, thanks to the Liberal leadership, how they mishandled these last 3-4 years. I can't say what happened before that, but I saw these last 4 years and it got so bad, man. And where did our tax money go? Did it go to improve the life in Canada, or did it go outside of the Canada to something that doesn't affect Canada at all? Like, that's another big question.
Say so. I mean, I'm here for whatever I need to do to pay less tax.
Well said, Miss. I know you said you can't really disclose, but which party do you truly believe that can step in there and make a change with this upcoming election?
I think they're both terrible in their own way.
Okay.
I think there's some good points that the Conservatives put up. There's some good points that the Liberals put up. But really, it's hard to say. I think as a young person, I should definitely research both parties.
I respect that.
It's like picking the lesser of two evils for me. They're both crappy.
She is right, but at the same time, it doesn't go with what she was saying, that everything got so bad in last 3 years. Who was in power for the last 3 years? Liberals. So literally, like, either you want it to be the same way like it was for last 10 years, or you want to give your hope to the Conservative Party, which, again, that's the only thing we can do right now, because with Liberals, we can judge them based on their actions in last 10 years, right? But with Conservatives, we have to just put our faith in there and in their promises. Obviously, there's a chance that they're not going to fulfill everything they say, but something is going to change. With Liberals, nothing's going to change. Why would they change anything when it works? When it gives them the 4th term? Like, they're not going to change anything. Today I watched video about Mark Carney promising the CBC 150 million to fund them. Why? Why do you want to fund legacy media? Obviously to push your agenda. And how is it even legal to say something prior to election? Obviously now CBC is going to be even more biased to Liberals. We're going to hear all of the bad shit about Conservatives on CBC and all of the good stuff about Liberals. And unfortunately, we still have people who watch and believe this legacy media. So obviously it's going to help.
I see.
In my opinion.
To
Based off
Liberals.
of what you've seen on social media, which party do you think has more senses?
I used to think it's the Conservatives, but with Trudeau resigning and Mark Carney being put up, I feel like the Liberals are kind of getting closer. It's hard to tell. I honestly feel like it could go either way. I have friends that would vote Liberal. I have friends that would vote Conservative.
Yeah.
I think the consensus is everyone just wants living in the GTA to be a little cheaper.
Plus, you don't get a job and 2 years of wasting time in a college. That, for me, I was hard worker. finally God blessed me with a good work. But if with other people, my friends, they still don't have a job with the same college timing.
Yeah.
They don't have a job, so for them it's hard, you know.
Yeah.
So
What do you think has caused for young Canadians nowadays? Because we see that they struggle on getting jobs, and just like you just said, a lot of your friends can get a job. What do you think caused that?
exactly, and I know what's
Here we
caused
go.
that, because I was the inside of the core that people were struggling and people are facing like a crazy situation, and one of the causes were this Canada government getting the international just because they are paying more money as a
International
student.
students?
Yes, they were paying 3 times on me. Like I pay, I'm a
Sounds
Canadian,
like
not
DEI.
Canadian, but I just got Canadian citizen.
Yeah.
So for me was 3,000 a semester, $3,000 a semester.
Yeah.
But for them, it's 10,000 a semester.
Holy.
Just that's why this
Here we
Canada or Trudeau got more international students. They getting them good money from the international student.
And that's it.
But they don't knew that if we get more international students, it can cause for other
Canadians,
young
yeah.
Canadians, they cannot find a job. That's what's happening. They got too much that they're not right now is not job for the Canadians.
This
Okay, so regarding this point, what I would understand, because this gentleman was more likely talking about the university, right? But there's something called DEI hiring, and obviously if you have some international student who gets his degree over here because he pays more, then when he's applying for the job, maybe he fits into one of the DEI categories, and then he takes the job to the people who might be more qualified, more experienced than he is. And yeah, like DEI is the big issue, because out of nowhere you're not you're not hiring based on merit, but you're hiring based on the different factors like race, sexual orientation, all of it. And literally you have this question in your job application. Before you even get the interview, there's an option. You don't have to reply to it, but we all know when you're applying for the job, it's better to answer to these questions, right? It asks you, are you female, male? Ask you if you're some part of minority and some part of these protected groups, right? So before you even get interviewed, they can just filter you out based on this part. Because maybe they need to fill, 10% of the jobs that are for DEI hires. And you, even though you have experience, even though you have education, you don't even get the interview because you answered on these questions. And that's ridiculous. That's something that needs to change, and the Liberals want to keep it. You literally heard Mark Carney in one of the videos talking about how Donald Trump got rid of this, and because of that, Canada will go even harder to protect all of these groups. But it's not to protect them, it's to discriminate someone else. If you really want to talk about DEI, you shouldn't talk about race, sexual orientation, or anything like that at all. You should literally hire based on merit. May the best person get the job, no matter if they're black, white, Asian, whatever. No one cares. If they're the best qualified person who nailed the interview, they should get the job. And that's what DEI should stand for, not discriminate someone else. Ridiculous.
That's the fact. That's why the Canadian likes more. I don't want to be racist, but they're getting more Indians just because they know the only community can survive is Indian. Just because they don't say too much talking, but they put their work on there. Like as Indian,
they're hardworking.
They
for
know
sure.
that if they come here, they have to do part-time job. They have to. If they don't do part-time job,
it's not
how
fair
they
to
gonna
them,
pay
though.
their bills? How are they gonna pay the triple money for the college? So for them, they have to work. And what I see, anywhere I go the grocery store anywhere, the cashier, all of them Indian, all of them this from one community, and this is not fair. You know, I have my other brothers, this and that. They're struggling for the work. Even my friend is struggling for the work. The other Canadians, they're struggling for the work. And this is the beginning. I don't know what's gonna happen for later.
There's one thing where the conservative leader, he's talking about, bringing in or opening up the energy sector. So that's going to lead to more jobs. So that sounds pretty positive to me, right? Like,
not only bringing more jobs, but also it's going to be the jobs that are not going to be filled by AI within next 5 to 10 years. Because all of these are manual jobs where you need to have some skill. And the AI right now is not able to replace these people. I'm not talking about McDonald's or anything like that. But I used to work in the coal mine for 2 months, and it was multiple coal mines in one area. And one of the mines actually tried to use AI to drive the haul trucks. They were not able to do it. They ended up hiring even more people just to keep an eye on those trucks, because the AI wasn't able to recognize the size of the rock. So the rule of the thumb was pretty much, if the rock is bigger than the helmet, the protective headgear, right, you cannot drive over it. And these AI trucks, they just stopped because they didn't know. They just got confused. And that's why you had pretty much behind every haul truck, you had someone driving pickup truck and keeping an eye on it. So again, if we invest more into the energy sector, like open the pipelines, all of that, these jobs will last a little bit longer. Like, it's gonna be here for at least 5 to 10 years, comparing to the white collar jobs, right? Let's say software engineers or designers or anything like that. That's the easiest thing for AI to replace. But let's say someone who's working on the refinery or something like that, that's going to take a while until they get replaced.
There's a lot of red tape stopping that kind of business to open up. So yeah, just hearing that kind of stuff is like very positive to me, which makes me lean more conservative than liberal.
What do you think about Mark Carney, our new prime minister?
Yeah, don't know too much about him. I know he's like, he comes from the corporate world. I think because he came in, a lot of people are going back into the liberal bandwagon because, people just had too much of Trudeau. If someone's grandmother got ill, it was Trudeau's fault, right? Like, it was kind of unfair, I feel, to that extent.
Trudeau.
But yeah, he seems well spoken. Seems like he's got his stuff together. He's been on a lot of big posts, like with a lot of responsibility, and a lot of people say good things about him. So I think Liberals have a chance because he's, back in the driver's seat instead of Trudeau. So
you feel like the Liberals are viewed differently with Mark Carney stepping in there?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think that's kind of changed people's perspective on, the Liberal Party.
Still
for sure, with him stepping in.
Do you think that they can still win this election?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they have a chance. But again, that's just me. I haven't looked at the numbers, the data, or anything like that. But just like the general vibe of things, it feels like it's more even now than, it was leaning all conservative before. So, yeah.
Absolutely love what you're doing.
Yeah.
I 100% support it.
Okay.
I'm just not going to participate because I'm a professor of political science.
Yeah, okay, that's understandable.
Yeah, at the University of Toronto. And I just don't
She
I just don't want my students one way or another to feel uncomfortable based on what they always want to know what I think,
okay,
right?
Okay.
That's fair.
And so then I'll have students who then don't feel comfortable.
Okay.
And I want my classroom to be a welcoming, opening space for a diversity of opinions.
Of course.
And not have students say, well, I need to repeat back to her what she thinks, wants to be
Sounds
said
like
or
a
something.
good teacher
But what
or
you're
professor.
doing is so important. I love it. I love young people getting involved in politics.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. So please keep doing it.
Yes, miss.
And I wish you the best of luck with it.
Thank you so much, miss. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Yeah. You too, guys. God bless.
People who live here, they
she sounded like conservatives. Let's be honest. If she was liberal, she would just push the opinion on everyone pretty much. You know what happened during the COVID. Like, you have to have this specific opinion, and otherwise we're gonna fire you, ban you, cancel you, whatever, right? Yeah, it's sad, but to me that kind of sounded like conservative, that she wants people to have their own opinions about it. That's a completely different experience than we had here for the last 10 years, when it was pretty much either it's this opinion or you're wrong. So, and especially in the schools. So yeah, my guess, she was conservative.
They do hard work. You gotta wake up 5 o'clock. What I do, 5 o'clock morning, I wake up and I drive 1 hour and I finish my job and I drive again 1.5 hours back. Too much rush, crowded over the highways. You gotta go through this, and for what? For $160 a day. I'm happy, but $160 cannot do nothing. Okay, I put $80 gas a week. These groceries are fucking expensive. My rent, this and that. But overall, I pay from my own pocket sometimes for this extra. Like, I cannot make from one job the payments. I have to do some side jobs, you know?
some side jobs, yeah.
So basically, it's very tough, you know?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, sorry to cut you off, and I'm pretty sure a lot of Canadians out there watching this video can relate to what you just said. Because I've actually heard the same thing you just said from other Canadians.
It's not just about affording the house,
they need to have
but
up to
rent
3
and
to 4
everything.
jobs, you know, on the side. One job is not going to be able to feed all those sources, and it's understandable. And I hear you, brother, I hear you. Would you say that the Canadian dream is dead? Like, do you feel like the Canadian dream is dead?
When I came to Canada, nice question. I had big dreams. I thought I can be achieve like one house and good car for my moms and this and that. You know how you came with a good dream. You know, everybody has a dream to make the moms happy. For me, my mom is for me everything. I don't care about girlfriend, this and that. This is all this time of the loves and this and that. But the real gangster is to get their family feed food, and that's the real gangster. What I call is getting the food to your home and make your mom the smiles. That's it, you know.
Well said, man. Well said. That's everyone's dream. Everything you just said, you know. We know the federal elections coming up. I don't know if you have been paying attention.
Yeah.
You know, which party do you truly believe that can step in there and resolve this conflict that we're facing in this country? I know you said a lot, and I know you're in pain, brother. I hear you. And just like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure a lot of people that just start watching this video, they can relate to you.
Conservatives. Let's go. You sound like a smart guy.
Everyone has a different story.
Yeah.
So once again, which party do you truly believe that can step in there and resolve certain things in this country?
I mean, I'm not good on those, like, you know what I mean, like politics.
Okay.
But all I'm saying, whoever is going to be stepping, they should think of young generation, man. You know, young generation is the thing that they can, even young generation can make it and make it fucked up too. So I would say give them opportunities, give them a hope, not be like, the first option should be the Canadian first, not even international, you know.
Canada
first.
Yeah, Canadian first. You know, if you're not giving your Canadian, your brother, if you cannot help your brother, can you help me? You know, you have to first help yourself, then bring other people.
I like that.
They don't help here. They don't make environment here better. They don't make jobs here better. They're bringing more. Just because they can pay more money, this and that. But no, I hope my voice can be here to one of the good peoples, and yes, and I hope this the things that I said get improved.
For sure.
But people struggling. Honestly, people are struggling. It's not just me. I'm just saying, to everybody's speech, everybody's words, it's not easy. People will become thief, and people will become more violent just because there's no money.
That's
and
a good point.
I have my other friends that they try to do
people
college,
will become
this
desperate
and
do whatever they
saw
can.
The college is waste of shit, and they spend money on there. Then he went to the auto thief. Then he jacking cars. He did it. Now he's in a jail. I don't want to say his name.
Yeah.
But there is people and my friends that they got fucked up. They left their dreams. They went somewhere like.
They're forced to do crime now.
Yeah,
you know, just to try to feed their family. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. The life pushed them to go to do wrong stuff.
What's your name?
Very
Kareem.
good point.
Nice to meet you, Kareem. Well said, brother.
Listen to
Dimani.
Dimani, he is one of the good youngsters, and I like this guy. He came all the way to the cold weather and he's taking my speech just to getting from young guys' hearts some pain, which he's doing a awesome thing. You know, nobody comes to you and ask you how you're doing and how is your experience to Canada. I mean, I give him thanks to coming to asking a young generation that what's going through their life. Respect that, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is an ad from Dimani. And yes, it's an ad from me. So guys, listen, you guys know I go from cities and towns all over Ontario. So recently, you know, I made a GoFundMe and I actually made a video about it, telling you guys about it. Some of you guys even donated. So I want to say shout out to those that donated. Thank you guys for the donation. I really appreciate it. I want to say thank you. It's helping all these trips. So ladies and gentlemen, just a little reminder, if you're someone who enjoys what I'm doing and you want to support me, for me to keep going and reaching out as many cities and towns as I can, if you want to donate and help out in any way, click the first link in the description. It will take you straight to my GoFundMe, and it's going to help out on these trips that I'm doing. So thank you so much.
That was a good video, and yeah, all of these people answering those questions like that's what's the issue nowadays, like job market, right? One job is not enough, and that's exactly what Pierre Poilievre is talking about. If you work hard, you should be able to afford a good house, nice house, good car, and just good life, like be able to pay off your bills. No one says it's going to be easy, but if you're working hard, you should be able to afford this. And right now you are not. Right now you work hard just to pay off your bills, and that's ridiculous. It wasn't like this 3-4 years ago, but now that's our situation, and people are desperate. Like what's been told in this video, that people will turn into the crime, like people are feeling desperate, and if they don't have other option, you think they're gonna starve? You think they're gonna die on the street, or are they gonna try to do whatever they can to survive? Obviously, most of them will try to do whatever they can to survive. So yeah, the crime rate will grow as well, and it already did. Like in Toronto and GTA, you heard that people feel unsafe, and it was like that 3 years ago. And nowadays, what I see, the videos from Toronto, from Etobicoke, from Brampton, like the crime rate over there is just crazy. It's through the roof, and it's unbelievable what's going on there. Like during the daylight, they just go to rob some store. Like what the hell? And do you hear about it on CBC News? Do you hear liberals talking about it? No, you don't. And obviously liberals can't really talk about it, because who made that happen? Liberals. So yeah, like Pierre Poilievre, he's talking about improving the economy, he's talking about housing market, he's talking about if you work hard, you should be able to afford a Canadian dream, and he's putting Canada first. So again, I'm not saying if you're thinking about voting Liberals, you're bad, but do your research. Look into Mark Carney, because it's still the same political party, and you're actually able to find a lot of interesting information about it. So again, no matter if you're liberal or conservative, before you go vote, just do your research. Don't vote based on the emotions, or based on the quotes, or based on if you like red or blue, or you voted liberals your whole life, you voted conservatives your whole life, or your whole family is liberal. No, do your own research, make your own opinion. Either you want it to go the same way it went last 10 years, or you want to vote for the change. Again, do your research. For me, I would vote conservatives.